Hello and welcome in, you guys. One Piece chapter 1134 is right around the corner. And with it, I want to sit back and reminisce on 1133. Kind of like a catch-up video in a weird way, right? We had a break week, so coming off of that, I want to see and remember what the hell we were talking about. So let's go through the 1133 comment section and see what you guys had to say about it. All right, so you guys know how this works. We're going to start from the top of the comment section and then just kind of work our way down. And I don't think this will be a long video, simply because last chapter was pretty simple. But I guess it is up to you guys, right? If the comments are heat after heat after heat, we could be here all night. So this is the first comment. The first one actually says backshots from Lilith. That's kind of crazy. But the second comment says, I think it's noteworthy that Hardin refers to Usopp as Uso Land because it suggests that Hardin still sees Usopp as their savior from Dressrosa, not just a Straw Hat member. And yes, we do have to remember that Hardin is the one who kind of gave us the God Usopp epithet because he is the one who held him up like Jesus, right? So Hardin played a pivotal role in that. And what's really noteworthy as well is that Hardin isn't just some huge giant warrior pirate, right? You kind of mentioned that Usopp isn't just a Straw Hat pirate, but Hardin is the same way. Hardin is the Prince of Elbaf, and the king is dead, right? King Harold is dead. Loki killed him. So there's a good chance that Hardin might even be the king of Elbaf. He might be too young for that, but you know, we don't know how the Elbaf politicians are working that out right now. But yeah, Hardin calling him Uso Land is massive, and I do have a theory that should be coming out tomorrow or the next day, and it kind of goes off of the Uso Land thing as well. Don't want to spoil too much of it, but if the newest chapter and the spoilers kind of destroy my theory, then I won't release it. So it's a weird limbo space, right? I have like a limited window to put out theories before it just gets obliterated into the nether realm. So moving on now, the idea of Saul reading these teeny books has me cracking TF up. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, right? Like, does he have a magnifying glass? Does he have a sunstone that he's able to use to help him read the tiny books? Like, I don't know how that works, right? Like, when you look at how small the books are from Ohara in the hands of a giant, like, how do you do this? I'd be so afraid that I'd break something. And you know what? That right there could explain why giants, for the most part, are brutes and are illiterate. Maybe there's not a lot of books that they can read. Like the newspapers, for example. Do they read the newspapers? Does Big News Morgans print his paper in extra large? I don't know. These are the answers we need to find out here on Elbaf. All right, so the next comment says, no one is born into this world to be alone. You might be alone at the moment, but someday you'll definitely find your Nakama. I thought this was great. This might be the hardest line Saul has ever dropped. I absolutely love this when it came out in the manga, loved it in the anime, and it still hits to this very day. I do gotta say though, that this is kind of cursed. Like, I thought about this and I was like, bro, Robin, yes, she found her Nakama, right? She's got Luffy in the gang right now, but it took her 20 years, bro. Like, it took her 20 years to find people she could call friends. I think by year 3 or 4, I would have looked back at Saul and say, yeah, this guy lied, bro. Like, god damn, that must have been brutal. So now on to the next one. They say your cat is the best part of this banger video. Fire emoji. Yeah, the cats are kind of like a paid actor, huh? The way they just walk on my lap. Let me see, are there any cats in frame right now? No cats in this room, but if they do show up, I'll make sure to hold one hostage for the video. Next up, we have Big Mom's defeat being mentioned again is yet another reason for me to continue thinking that Law and Kid will be a part of this arc. We have to see the Giants' reaction to the two who avenged Elbaf and defeated Big Menace. And I completely agree. I think I've made it's repetitive at this point, but I do it like once every 3 months. But I have 2 theories talking about Law and Kid making a comeback here in this arc, because I just think it makes the most sense, right? Not only should Elbaf be indebted to them, but they're also missing ships. Law doesn't have his submarine. Kid doesn't have his Punk Victoria. This is the best place for them to get new ships. Dude, the Giants have the Atom Tree here. It works out, man. They don't have to pay a single dime for it, right? They'd probably just say, hey, you want a ship? All right, Brogy, go cut down a tree branch. It is that simple. So yeah, I think they will make a comeback. Law, of course, he has to flee Winter's Island. Where would he go? Elbaf, Kid, he's literally off the coast if he didn't just wash ashore already. Or unless somebody saved him, right? There's a lot of options for Kid. I do not think Kid is dead. I'm not a part of that bandwagon. I mean, Kid is, in my opinion, too popular, in Japan at least, to get killed off, right? I think he has a lot of potential, and in my eyes, I do think he still has a lot of potential. Will he be a candidate for the One Piece, though? No. I do think Law and Kid's journey for the One Piece is over. door, but when one door closes, another one opens. Kind of like Bellamy, right? Bellamy wanted to join the Doflamingo Pirates. He wanted to be a top officer. He wanted to be Dopey's right-hand man, his pegging boy. But now he's simply making flags for pirates. I think Law and Kid might go the same way. Not like giving up their piratey ambitions, but finding something else entirely. Maybe they go on to ancient weapons, maybe they become researchers, or maybe they're just pirates. I mean, that's what Whitebeard was, right? Whitebeard didn't go after the One Piece after Roger died. No, dude, the guy was chilling. He had his crew, he was hanging out. I could see Law and Kid kind of being the same way, to be honest. Elbaf is so awesome. Now, I just want them all to sit down at a table around with Saul and give us some juicy lore on the Void Century. Yep, I just released a prediction video a while ago, and this is pretty much where I'm at. I do think Saul will reveal information about the Void Century. He has the books from Ohara. He seems like a smart guy. He seems like a smart guy. I just don't like giants. I'm sorry. I don't like giants. I don't like Saul, so that's just how it is. But yeah, I do think he's gonna do this. He's been a history teacher for 22 years. He lives in Elbaf. I'm sure Elbaf has some crazy lore about the Void Century as well that other places don't, because the lifespan of a giant is insane. These guys live anywhere from 300 to 400 years. And I say 400 because Jarl is 408. Brother, 2.5 Jarls? Dude, that is the Void Century, right? So that should be like secondhand information to them, unless they just didn't write down anything in books or scrolls. So yeah, I am expecting some pretty big things, but hopefully I'm not setting my expectations too high for Saul. The next comment says, Kuzan? Oh, because Saul. Sometimes I try to wonder like how we get there. I'm like, wait, Kuzan is definitely a good guy. Insane to see Saul alive with the fact that she met him again with her friends that Saul promised that she would find. And the meeting of Saul and Robin? Yeah, the end is near, guys. So let's brace ourselves. One Piece is the best show. Yeah, I did like the reunion. Of course, I've seen all the criticisms about the reunion, and I can see where they're coming from. But overall, I'm a simple guy. I enjoyed it. Did I tear up? No, but you know, my heart was happy, right? I like the hug. As far as Kuzan being a good guy, that's up for debate. This right here is up for debate. We don't really know the full story, but Kuzan did use Ice Time Chamber, so there was a chance that he was banking that Saul would survive. But Saul is still heavily burned, right? Saul is still very, very, very heavily burned. So I would be a little bit peeved. I don't know if I'd call Kuzan a good guy yet, but I do think that out of all the admirals, Kuzan and Fujitora, they are among the better ones, right, morally. So yeah, I do need to see Kuzan's side of things. Maybe Kuzan is the one who knocked him into the water. Who knows, right? Because I do think that's a little bit odd that Saul was frozen and then he was being thawed out in the water. Maybe Kuzan felt bad and he said, hey, you know, let's take him and let's push him off the cliff. Of course, an explosion could have also knocked Saul into the water. There's a lot of logical explanations for it, but I think that extra oomph would just be Kuzan giving him the push. So now on to the next comment. They say, Luffy saying that he has to thank Saul is a nice backing to Ace learning how to say thank you from Makino to thank Oh, Cook, dude. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good one. See, this is what I love about these comment section videos, right? Not only do I get, oh, sorry, I'm not even showing the comment. Not only do I love to see what we're talking about, right, and all these theories, but I also love to learn things that I just didn't pick up on right away. And yeah, back during the Ace flashback, Ace, when he visited Shanks, he told him thank you for saving Luffy's life and for looking after him. And that is the reason why he did learn how to say thank you for Makino. So yeah, this is a really nice callback. It shows maturity, huh? It shows maturity. Back shots from Lilith is crazy. We can't avoid this one, yeah. I said that Frankie would get back shots from Lilith because Frankie needs to upgrade his back, because that's his one weakness as a cyborg, right? If you shoot him with bullets in the front, they're gonna bounce off like bullets off a Superman. But if you shoot Frankie from the back, he's in pain. So if Lilith does go behind Frankie and shoot him up, he could get powerful in that way. That could be an upgrade. All I'm saying. A chapter focused on Robin is everything we deserved at the end of this year. Robin is truly one of the best characters in One Piece. So Spandine put all the blame on Robin. Even the ship that Akainu destroyed. What a POS. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever see Spandine again, because he's still alive. You know, Spandine is still alive to this day, and same with Spandam. So I wonder if we'll see them if we ever go to Marie Joie. Will anybody fight these guys, or will they just sit on the side and die? Because to be fair, Spandam, they're not strong. They're just like your average human. If anything, Spandam is weaker than your average human. A fun fact that I always like to remember and think back to is when they were giving the Doriki meter to CP9 and they were all hitting Fukuro to see how strong they were, you know, the only time Oda's actually done a proper power system in One Piece, Spandam had a power level of 9. And Fukuro said that the average human marine has a power level of 10. Bro, if the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, how strong could Spandine possibly be, right? Take the guy's gun away. I don't know, man. Maybe Gaimon could take this guy down, right? But yeah, what a POS for sure. Next, they say, Size the Goat. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. This chapter was a 10 out of 10 to end the year on a good note. I guess this might be the reason Robin was sleeping for the most part of Egghead Island, so Oda could cook with this reunion chapter. Hey, if this is the standard we're going by, you know, people who didn't have much to do on Egghead, then I'm expecting a lot of Brook stuff, a lot of Usopp stuff, maybe even a lot of Frankie stuff. Well, Frankie had some moments where he shot Saturn, but outside of that, Frankie, dude, you could erase that guy. I don't know, man. Was Frankie on Egghead? That's the newest theory I'm gonna cook up. But yeah, if this is the metric we're going by, I am expecting a lot from Chopper, Usopp, Brook. Frankie was like 50-50, so yeah, throw Frankie in there. Jinbei even, right? Because Jinbei, all he did was move boxes and then show up at the end of the Rob Lucci fight. But yeah, I would love that. I think Oda also agrees with this as well, because going back to Zoe, Dressrosa, and Whole Cake, Oda did like split up the Straw Hats and divert focus on certain characters. So maybe this is what he's doing, right? On Egghead, he's like, hey, let's give these guys the limelight, let them have some fun, let them fight some people, let them do some stuff and learn some lore, and then the other Straw Hats that don't really interact, let them shine here on Elbaf. I personally would enjoy that a lot. And for Brook, right? Brook is such a weird character because I don't like Brook that much, you know, in contest with the other Straw Hats. But I want the best for Brook. And that's the same for many characters in One Piece. Just because I don't like them personally doesn't mean I don't want them to glow up and shine and get these great moments. And Brook is one of those characters that I really want to get fleshed out more. My God, dude, Brook, please learn some music here. You know, learn about the past. Maybe Brook gives us some lore with Saul. I don't know. But I kind of want Brook to get the same love that Robin's getting right now. I know it's a Robin chapter. I don't want to like rain on the parade, but Brook, man, give this guy something, you know, give him some milk at the very least. I was just wondering when you were gonna drop this fire. Yeah. Typically I wait for the chapter to come out on TCB or OP scans, and then it'll take like an hour-ish to record, and then maybe like an hour and a half to edit, and then it gets uploaded like right away. Sometimes it catches me while I'm at work or doing something else, so that does throw a wrench in plans, right? I wish there was like a scheduled time when these chapters released, but of course we're looking at scans, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Just a theory, but what if the silhouetted character is Killer, and he's going through a Denjiro-like depression because Kid drowned, and he couldn't help him because he ate a Smile Devil Fruit, but he can't even cry, only laugh, and that just makes him even more angry. Maybe time does move different there, and it's been a couple of months or a couple of years. He could be stronger than Zoro now, if so. The stronger than Zoro segment is kind of cool because I would love a rematch with Zoro and Killer, right? Because they fought at the beginning of Wano, and Zoro, in my opinion, won that battle, right? Killer tried to stab him with a scythe, Zoro wouldn't budge, and he ended up using an onigiri on him, and Killer lost. But Killer said, yo, if I had my machines, you would be done. Like, you got lucky, man. So I think that'd be really cool to get a rematch, but I don't think that's the case. I've also seen theories that it could be Kid, and I think I like the Kid route more than Killer, but either way, I don't think this is the case at all, simply because 500 chapters ago, we got the color page where this Shiki-like character, or this blonde character, is talking to Crocus, right? Because of that one cover page alone, I don't think this really works out in the timeline. But yeah, that's just how I feel right now. You know, I'd be happy to be proven wrong. That goes with all of these as well, right? I think One Piece is at its best when it's unpredictable. So if this does end up being the case, and I disagree with it right now, that'd be pretty cool. Elbaf is so big that even being drowned for the past 800 years is still huge. Even being drowned for the past 800 years, it's still huge. Oh, like the water levels rising. Yeah. So to be fair, the water levels rose 100 meters, right? Is that the correct measurement? But it rose. But take in mind that Elbaf is so big that I bet that's not even noticeable, which is kind of what you're getting at, right? Like, Elbaf has mountains, it has this giant tree. Like, bro, raising the water levels, my God, instead of getting people on the Noah's Ark and, you know, finding them new land or something like that, why not just take them to Elbaf? That's what I would do. Like, if I looked at Elbaf, I'd be like, yo, sure, Emu, raise the water levels. Yeah, 100 meters, go for it, buddy. Like, it wouldn't matter. This tree would survive the test of time. Not even a Buster Call could take it down. Like, if the world government came and found out that Saul was researching the poneglyphs, that he had Ohara books, what are they gonna do about it? They're gonna come to Elbaf with 5 battleships and a vice admiral? No, dude. Yeah, Elbaf is way too big for any of that. I did have Sai going from a giant hater to Elbaf stan on my 2024 bingo card. Okay, hear me up. I still don't like giants. They're growing on me, yes, but generally I still don't like giants. And with Elbaf, I love the environment. Loving somebody's home isn't the same as loving them. At least not yet, right? As we get more developments, it could change. But right now, I still see these guys as giant idiots. Owls represent wisdom. It makes sense that an owl would be a symbol in a library. You're right. I forgot that owls symbolize wisdom because here in Oklahoma, I feel like it's different depending on where you live, of course, but here in Oklahoma, it is not a known folklore, but some people believe that if you see an owl in the middle of the night, or if an owl is above your house, that you're gonna die pretty soon, or somebody you know is going to die pretty soon. So I remember, like, as a kid, I was always freaked out going on back roads and seeing owls in trees because I was like, holy shit, my mom's gonna die, or, you know, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get in a car crash. A deer's gonna walk out, I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna crash, and everybody in my car's dead. So for me, owls never really represented wisdom. Outside of, like, Harry Potter, it's always just been like, oh my god, who's cooked? But yeah, this is a good one. I'm glad you reminded me that owls mean more than just that, though. Thank you. Man, it's so bittersweet. I don't know that Robin just asked him to praise her. I don't know. It just feels so good and sad at the same time. Yeah, it's a mixture of emotions, huh? It's a mixture of emotions. 13:35, where your cat becomes onigiri. Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah, my cats are fat. Especially the white one you see sometimes sitting back up there during videos. I gotta put his ass on a diet, bro. Like, it's getting bad. I'm thinking about just manually feeding them because right now I have an automatic feeder that goes off every 4-ish hours. And that's because I have multiple cats. I have 5 cats in total. So that's why I have that, just to make it a little bit easier on me. But it's not working, man. The guy's hogging all the food, man. You know, at some point we gotta stop him from eating. But yeah, I need to work him out. I need to put him on a leash, take him outside, or just use a red dot. It's hard because I used to have a toy that would hang from the door frame and he would just like jump up and bat it. And that was the most exercise he ever got in his life. But the thing is that guy's a little and he actually would destroy the toys. So I can't have toys in the household because he would just eat it. Like, he eats it whole. Nothing is safe around this guy. He's like Luffy, for God's sake. Luffy also doesn't know that the Giants and Big Mom have beef with each other, right? Oh, you're so right. Well, okay, let me think. We did get the Big Mom flashback during Whole Cake. Did Beige tell Luffy? No, I guess he didn't, right? He just told Luffy that Mother Carmel's photo is important and that they should smash it. So yeah, I guess Luffy doesn't know that the Giants have beef with Big Mom. I will say though that it is interesting that he has the question mark right after Harden says, hey, you guys beat Big Mom. We don't know all the details. So I wonder if Luffy even has the details about how Big Mom was defeated, right? I wonder if Luffy, Kid, and Law shared battle stories afterwards. I feel like that would make sense, right? You're partying and then you're like, hey, so how'd you guys beat Big Mom? Or Kid and Law are like, hey, what was that white form you had, man? Like, how'd you beat Kaido? I feel like that'd be classic banter, but I don't know. I also think it's just part of the fact that Luffy doesn't want to take credit for something he didn't do. Like, Luffy's not a liar, so maybe that's why I kind of caught him off guard. Like, wait, they think I did this? Like, if anything, I'm surprised Luffy didn't correct them. But then again, I guess he is still taking in all of the sights, right? Because right after that panel, Gerd kind of interrupts and then we see the party going on and then Robin says, hey, Luffy, I gotta dip for a little bit. We gotta go see Saul. So there's a lot going on here. I feel like eventually everything will be tackled. Like, we'll probably get a run back of this conversation where Luffy tells them what actually happened, or maybe Law and Kid come here and clear up the confusion. But yeah, this is another thing to keep note of though. Good comment. Law and Kid being an Elbaf would be awesome. Didn't even think about Law showing up until you mentioned it. And then this one says, I don't think Law will show up. Rather, his path will go and follow that of Cross Guild because he lost his ship and crew. I think that is a logical step he can make. Law joining Cross Guild. I would say that Law would rather join Luffy than Cross Guild. I think that'd be more logical in my opinion because Law has worked with the Straw Hats for the past 400 or so chapters. I think 400 is an exaggeration. It might be like 350, but Law has been like this with us. So I'd be shocked if he left and went to Cross Guild and met a bunch of people he doesn't really know about or people he doesn't like in general. One thing to keep in mind is that a popular theory is that Doflamingo will join Cross Guild. Would Law want to work with Doflamingo? I don't think so. I do think it would be cool if they reconcile a little bit. Like maybe Dofi has the Bellamy moment where he says, I'm not gonna pick on you anymore. But Law would still hate him for a Corazon. So yeah, I don't think Cross Guild is super plausible for Law, but I do think it's cool if, you know, another warlord, Shishibukai, were to join the ranks. So I'm kind of iffy on that one. I do still think Law wants to remain his own captain at the end of the day. He seems like that type of guy. And plus he has a lot of people who do rely on him, right? Outside of just Beppo, Shachi, Penguin, I forgot the guy's name, but the guy with the smile mess, Haku is his name, and the girl beside him, like all these characters do look up to Law. They respect Law. Law saved them. You know, that is his crew. I can't imagine Law would bend the knee to somebody else personally, but that's just how I feel about him. So now, next one says, Saul's library should include a journal about Noland, who remains forgotten. Not only Noland, but Bragman as well. You know, maybe we'll learn some Louis Arnaud stuff from Saul. And now, last few comments, we're gonna wrap it up here. They say, I'm not gonna lie, Luffy is acting a bit suspicious this chapter. He turned down food and didn't cry along with the usual Straw Hats that cry. Also, did he always call Harden by his name? I don't remember what he called him in Dressrosa, so I'm not sure if he ever nicknamed him like he usually does for everybody else. Maybe Loki is controlling him or something like that, or there's a secret deal that they made. Well, they did make a secret deal, and that's the fact that Luffy's going to release him or at least find the keys for Loki. But outside of that, I don't think Luffy's being controlled. You know, I feel like we left this behind back when we had the whole, oh, is Luffy a hallucination thing? Like, Luffy ate an ear god, he ate a giant rabbit. I think he's okay. And plus, when it comes to Robin meeting Saul, that is more important than just eating right away too. And the food wasn't even ready, right? Harden did say that he's going to prepare the deer meat by the time they get back. So if Luffy wanted to eat the food here, he'd have to wait regardless. And then plus, when we got to Saul, the first thing Luffy wanted to do is bring him back to the party. So that is, in my opinion, very, very Luffy-like. And now for the final comment, let's wrap this up right here. They say, Hold'em will regret provoking Yamato's anger. Okay. I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong. But Yamato could just casually beat Hold'em. It's not even anger, right? If Yamato was angry, I think most of the people in Wano would die. Like, Yamato was over here clashing with Hybrid Kaido. Bro, nobody's stopping Yamato. Like, forget regret, man. Hold'em's gonna be taking that to the grave. Which makes me wonder, right? So next week, or next chapter, we shouldn't be getting a cover page story. I believe it's a color spread. So with that being the case, we aren't going to see a continuation of this for a little bit. But if I were to guess what were to happen next, I would say that somebody would either have to save Hold'em, like maybe one of his allies, or we'll just cut over and Yamato is going to be standing over Hold'em's beaten in black and blue body. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really freaking appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments as per usual. And I will catch you guys when the chapter or the spoilers release for 1134. See you later, guys. Peace.